I'm actually hearing impaired, so I have to like run a speech-to-text program.
Okay.
So just so you know. Okay, so we're live, so everybody's gonna start piling into the channel.
Okay.
We got First Amendment Strike Team, Tucson Police Suck, Wicked Twin 2, Tay Lynn. My daughter's here too.
How's it going, everybody?
Yeah. Say hi to my daughter, Viana. She's in there.
Hi. How's it going?
Pikes Peak, Monkey83, Jerry, Jane, Wendy, Sinbad.
Hi, everybody.
Yeah, everybody's piling in. Spoons! Spoons is awesome, man. She's a great supporter.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, Viana, we're all doing good. You? Colorado Donkey, what's up, man?
You don't know yet. This is the one that was going to be paying for the hotel room before Reagan got it.
Oh, okay.
Bear Shake, Kim in Georgia, Phoenix, Rob, how you all doing? Can everybody hear him okay?
You guys hear me? Are we good?
Just waiting for them to respond, and yeah, we're getting yeses from everybody, so...
Awesome. I like it when everybody can hear me.
Alright, well, I mean, of course everybody's got the big question on their mind, and that is, what happened from your perspective?
So from my perspective, I had been filming and having a good encounter for the most part, even though it was kind of heated at Corner Bakery. And then Liberty Freak said Guzman was down the street, and I've always wanted to talk to Guzman, you know, and hold the camera and see what I could, you know, I just want to talk to the guy. So I went looking for him.
Sorry.
And I walked up to these two officers.
Hold on a sec, hold on. I bumped a wire on my audio. Sorry.
Oh, you're
good. Let me fix the sound. I apologize, everybody. This damn wire's like really sensitive, and the slightest bump on it, you know. Can everybody still hear us okay? God, I hate this. I gotta find a new way to hook that up. Okay, done. Yeah, 303, say something. I got no audio from you. Damn it. Sorry, man. Sorry, everybody. I'm trying to figure it out. I don't know what the hell happened.
Pikes Peak can hear everything.
Yeah, I got you back now. I had to switch what speakers it was going through.
Okay, are we good now?
So, damn.
Awesome.
Figured, man. You know, get everything going good and then bump a damn wire.
Yeah, I get it. So, I walked over to talk to Guzman. I found two other cops. Made sure that I was just talking to them. I was really nice to them for a specific reason. Same way I've been nice to everybody else on that video. I was just trying to be cool and talk to people. That's all I wanted. And then all of a sudden, Guzman rolls up behind me, hits a siren, and then I said, oh, there's Guzman there. And then I went to go film how the cops kind of surrounded me, and all of a sudden, I got there's cops behind me, and they're putting my arms behind my back and pushing me onto the ground. And then, you know, I got my head hit the ground, and I mean, I didn't by any means, to my understanding, deserve that response from anybody. So, and after that, I tried to stay quiet, and I ended up having a seizure while I was in custody. They didn't do much for me there, and then while I was in custody, I had multiple different seizures, and they didn't do anything there. No medical attention or anything like that. And then they turned around, and I had a couple of different guards tell me that I was going to find out how gangster they were because I was talking shit to them when I got there, instead of just, you know, helping the guy who was having seizures. They, you know, I asked them, well, what, y'all are just going to be gangsters to me then, and like, you know, you're gonna, you know, hurt me? What, like, because you think I'm rude? You know, and that was their deal. And so instead of, like, booking me, they turned around and put me in holding for 9 hours, and then slow-tracked everything that had to do with me.
Yeah, well, of course, the big question everybody's asking is, how long was the blade on the knife?
Blade on the knife is 5 inches.
Okay, so they're gonna hit you with, like an illegal blade size?
Yeah, they're gonna hit me, well, so the charge is technically, an unlawful weapon, carrying an unlawful weapon. So, but there's a bunch of different technicalities to that, and then I've also got other video of Denver PD officers saying that it's not illegal to carry that on my channel. So I'm not really worried about the knife itself. I know that they charged me with it, but I didn't do anything to make them fear for their safety. I didn't give them any reason to believe that I was a threat. I didn't, you know what I mean, or anybody else on the mall that day for any reason. And there's plenty of video evidence showing that I was just being personable.
Yeah, so, I mean, you didn't even show them the knife. They had no notion of how big the knife was. Nothing like that.
He saw the knife. That's all. He saw the handle. The handle's a little bit big. And so what happened was he said, oh, he has a knife on him. He's threatening you guys. That's what Guzman said as soon as I walked, like he walked up. You were threatening my officers. And I said, did I threaten you guys? And if you look in that video, all those cops, none of them wanted to touch me. None of them had any, you know, notion that I had done anything until Guzman was like, nope, grab him. You know what I mean? Those cops are a bunch of followers.
Yeah, we were all watching it, and I mean, I can tell you, I never saw anything remotely threatening, nothing like that. You're,
No, the nature that I was open carrying, if you look in that video, you can see that knife in the reflection of the windows while I was dancing and doing my little weird gyrating thing. You know, you can see that knife is not concealed at all. It's there. It's very in plain sight. It doesn't take, you know, a rocket scientist to see that it's there. You know what I mean? Those cops saw it as soon as I walked around. And
right.
You really saw I kept my elbows up, and I turned around in 180 degrees so they could see the knife. And so they knew I wasn't going for it. And then Guzman actually unclipped my knife after he was starting to wrestle with me.
Yeah, see, when I call, well, somebody's asking, do you have a hunting or fishing license?
I do not have a hunting or fishing license.
I'm not sure what that applies to, but they were asking. I know.
If it's a hunting knife, then it comes under a different code. It's not illegal to carry a hunting knife in Denver County. So it is a hunting knife. I'm not hunting with it. Use it as a tool. You know what I mean? That's actually what those knives are called. When you buy them from Walmart, at the local Walmart that you get them here, you know what I mean? You can't. It's not like it's illegal. Walmart sells it.
Right.
So it's qualified as a hunting knife. I use it for work. I actually was cutting up bags of ice the last time it snowed out here. So, you know what I mean? Like, it's just a big game that cop was trying to play to grab me up and screw me over. Tyranny, okay.
Yeah,
recommend that you're
High Desert Community Watch says hello and glad to see you out.
I'm glad to be out, man. Thanks for the support. I appreciate everybody that was involved and that has been involved in helping out and everything. This community is awesome.
Yeah, see, I don't know if you got a chance to watch that video on my channel, but I called right after they got you, and I asked the...
Much.
Huh?
Much. I haven't got a chance to watch much. I've, like, been driving and in the car, and then the kids were stressed out about me wanting to go to, like, the store, so we piled everybody in the car because they don't want me to go anywhere. You know, just whatever the kids need, really.
Right.
So, you know, but then we end up taking more time to do everything, and so here we are. But yeah, so.
Well, the thing was, when I called, I explicitly asked the lady, I said, what is the law on knives, carrying knives in Denver, downtown Denver? And she said 3 inches, period. Whether it was concealed or not is irrelevant. It can be 3 inches. Is that...
And the cop on the video said 3.5, and then they said that it could be 3.5 if it was folding. They couldn't get their story straight on how they were going to make the, and it can't be spring-loaded is the other clause. But they couldn't get their story straight on how they were going to make it illegal for me to have it. Which is why they started using they started throwing everything at it. You know? They're going to, oh, well, he threatened my officers, when the cops were like, he didn't threaten us. You know what I mean? Then they were, and then they incriminated themselves on the video, talking about how they were going to try and make it stick anyway. So, yeah, it was just a big game played by Guzman and a bunch of his followers that are used to hanging out with him because he's the one that helps them, I guess. I don't know. So,
yeah, I told the lady, I'm like, look, this guy was doing nothing wrong. He was standing there with his, his knife was on his side, visible, and he said, I thought you had said I have a knife or something to that effect. And I asked him.
As soon as he got out of the car, he said, he has a knife. He's threatening you.
Oh, so you never even said I have a knife?
Nope, that never came out of my mouth. I went silent. Yeah, that was Guzman that said that. He says, he has a knife. He's threatening you. I never once said anything after, oh, here's Guzman.
Wow.
Oh, I did say help. I wanted to get Liberty Freak's attention because I needed him to film what they were doing.
Right.
And so, you know what I mean? It was like, help, and Liberty Freak saw that, and after that, I tried to go as silent as possible. In my video, there's a little bit of talking that I did. They stole my pot pipe, and they missed it on a search. I was actually, after they searched me with the knife and everything, they just stole my pot pipe. I don't have it. So, but besides that, dude, I mean, it was just nonsense the whole fucking way. They couldn't figure out how they were going to make it stick, and then they're arguing with themselves, and some of these cops don't want to incriminate their boss.
People are saying that they heard you say you had a tool.
Yeah, I did say I have a tool. I said it's a tool.
Okay.
Yeah,
But that was after Guzman approached you?
That was after Guzman got out of the car after he hit the siren, and he said, he has a knife on him. And as they started to grab me, I said, it's a tool.
Okay, so...
And then I said, help. And I think that's all I said. I'm kind of a little scrambled still.
Right.
You know. So I think that's all I said. I watched... Oh, yeah, I said, why am I being arrested? Too, my wife said.
Yeah, I know that... Oh, I'm going to have to get up in a second just to help my mom with something real quick. But people are basically asking, how's your health right now? So if you could fill them in while I go help her.
Yeah,
explain to them what happened health-wise.
So at this point, right after Guzman grabbed me, he forced my head onto the ground really hard. That caused me to have a seizure in the back of that transporting officer's car. I went and got seen by the ambulance. I guess I was in their Sallyport. And so I got seen by the ambulance. I couldn't figure out what was going on. I guess I was a lot more scrambled than I normally am. And I didn't know where I was, and I didn't know, and all I could figure out was that the cops were there, and I was afraid that they were going to hurt me while I was having a seizure. And I didn't want them to like beat me up or think that I was trying to hurt them while I was having a seizure. And then 15 minutes or so after I had the seizure in the car, they realized that my camera was still on, and the cop was saying that I had a seizure on my phone. And then he grabbed my phone and turned it off. And then I started to come back around, and then I realized where I was and what month it was. I thought it was December still when I woke up from the seizure in the car. And so I was sitting in the back of the ambulance thinking it was December, and I still couldn't figure out why the cops were dealing with me in the first place. Then after that, they denied me medical care. While I was in custody, I talked to one nurse. I had multiple different seizures in the lobby, like the pit area, where they've got to collect phone calls. Just on the beds or the chairs, I would like lay down and in the booking pen, and I was having seizures in there. I've got bruises all over my head. I'm gonna go get seen by that so we can get a doctor, get seen at the hospital, so I can get that documented. I got to get my kids to sleep first, though.
Right.
But I got bruises all over my head. They ignored me. I made multiple different complaints about I'm having seizures. There were a bunch of different inmates in there that said, hey, he's having seizures. You know what I mean? And like after I'd wake up, these guys were like, hey man, I tried to get him to come help you. You know, and I'm like, well, they don't want to help me. I'm a cop blocker. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I wonder how much these cops really hate people with cameras, and our knowledge of what's going on with their jobs because of how they treat us and the people that we're involved with.
Right. Well, some people are asking, did you go to the hospital at all?
I refused service because I was hoping that, like, after I started to wake up and I realized what was going on, I wanted to get bonded so I can go back to my wife and my kids. My van was sitting outside, and what I was thinking it was going to get towed, you know what I mean? And so I started to wake up. It's not like I haven't had seizures before and had to figure out where I was, and it'd take me 20 minutes, you know? And so once I realized what was going on, I refused service. I signed myself out of the ambulance or whatever, and I said, oh, let's go inside. And then Guzman shows up as they're loading me back from the Sallyport into the actual, like, transport or into no, they're pulling me out of the ambulance, and they're bringing me into, booking. They're bringing me into booking. Sorry, I get my words a little jumbled up after these things.
That's fine.
So they're bringing me into booking, and I'm standing outside the door, and then Guzman shows up, and all of a sudden he's on some talking shit, being rude, you know, fuck you kind of stuff. And I mean, I don't care if I'm in handcuffs, and I don't care if you just arrested me. You're not gonna talk to me like that. You still serve me. And I told him that, and then he got more mad and started talking more. And I'm like, Guzman, just shut up. You're not man enough on your best day. And then all of a sudden, the other officer that was there said, if you bring your hand off the wall, I will throw you back into it or something like that. And I said, oh, you're a gangster. And he said, you're about to find out. And, I'm like, well, that is weird. And I stretched my arm, and then all of a sudden they threw me in, like, I stretched my arm because I had, like, flat, like this, and it was hurting my after a seizure. And so I stretched it, and I brought my palm off like this, right, with my hand still on the thing. I wasn't being aggressive. I wasn't, And so what happened was, he said, oh, and that's what's going to happen. And they grabbed me, and they threw me into a holding cell, and that was it.
Yeah, see, first off, thank you to the person that sent a PayPal. And Liberty Freak TV asked the all-important question, did you drop the soap?
did not drop the soap. I made sure he stayed in front of me while I got dressed out. You know I'm attractive, and they really want these nuts, but they have to work harder.
Yeah, if anybody's got any... do you have to leave, or you got time? Are you good, or do you have to go? I lost your audio. Lost your audio.
Okay, there we go. I
Yeah.
figured it out. Sorry.
I was gonna say, I didn't know if you had to go or if you had more time to talk. If you
I've got more time to talk. We're actually getting everybody set up right now.
Okay.
So.
If anybody wants to call in, Tay, you could start posting the call-in line.
Well, chill out.
But everybody is all on your side, man. Everybody. I got 113 people in here, and they're all saying they're glad to see you out and glad that you're okay medically, at least as well as can be expected.
Hey, if you guys wait for a minute, Mom's gonna go get dinner.
So, of course, Tay lost to the call-in line. Yeah,
the support that I received, my family received from this community, just awes me. I appreciate everybody that's involved, really. I mean, it's awesome. It's humbling to see what this community can do for people.
Oh yeah, you're right. I mean, it's amazing. I made sure I talked to Regan earlier, and I was telling her how it was amazing that everybody came together, helped your family with the hotel, and we're working towards your bond.
It was. It really was amazing to see that happen, and to be able to call my wife and hear that was happening. It just the less stress that I had, it was a lot better, because then I could turn around and put this effort back into doing what we need to do with these guys and stopping them from acting like tyrants like this.
Well, that's Ecstasy Prez just sent me something, but, News Now Phoenix says, if there's anything else he could do, please just let him know.
Okay, I will. I appreciate everybody. At this point, I'm really bad at asking for stuff, and I really want to try and help myself as well as be helped, So, I mean, if you guys, want to do something, then I appreciate it. On the same hand, unless, my world falls apart again, then I probably won't ask.
Right. No, I understand, man. I get it. BBAB22 says, I don't know if it's a male or female, but they said they can get you a new pipe tonight.
Okay.
So.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Hell yeah. I'm at 6th and Wadsworth.
Yeah, there's the call-in line, guys. If you want to call, ask some questions or whatever.
Call in, let's talk. I'm here, guys. Let's do it. I can sit out here on this truck all night long and talk to you people. I love you guys. Let's go.
Yeah, I just found out that in New York State, they just legalized, as of April, they legalized recreational marijuana.
That's what's up.
So.
They were doing that in Minnesota right as I was leaving, too.
Brian Johnson says you can stop by anytime.
Okay.
So, wait to see. I mean, guys, if you want to call in, he's here. You got any questions about what happened or any other questions? It's funny because, people get tongue-tied when you post a number.
Anything you want, guys. Call and talk to us. Let's go. I'm a team player. Let's do this.
Yeah.
I love talking to you guys.
Yeah, they do. Everybody's talking about they got to get Guzman off of the force. They're right.
We did not eat any bologna sandwiches. Okay, so I'm over here with Pike's Peak Auditor.
Oh, hey, Pike.
What's up, Brian?
So, I did not eat any bologna sandwiches, Pike's asked. I had one cookie and a half, and I fed the other people that, needed it more than me.
Yeah, that bologna's usually like really out of date, anyways. I've had to eat them before.
Well, okay, so they didn't give me any toilet paper until 16 hours after I got there. I wasn't trying to eat that. That was gonna mess up my stomach.
That's messed up, man.
Yeah, I'm telling you, they were trying some shit. I did not get toilet paper for 16 hours.
That's not right. And of course, when you're, when you're sitting in jail, like your nerves are going, so like your bowel drops.
Right. Okay. So look, I can do a little bit of jail time standing on my head, but if I was gonna eat that bologna, I was gonna need to take a shit. They didn't give me any toilet paper, so we're eating cookies and drinking water, folks.
Hey, you're live. Who's this?
Hey, what's up? This is Brian Johnson.
Oh, hey, what's up, bro?
What's up, Brian?
No, I was kind of curious. You still had that court case. Brian?
Huh?
Yeah. Got that delay. I've turned my volume down. There we go.
Well, go for it, man. You're live on the air.
What's up, Brian? How's it going?
We're good. I was wanting to ask you about the case up in Aurora.
What?
The case up in Aurora where they was running a tag to find your ID.
What'd he say?
I don't know. I didn't understand him.
Something about my ID in Aurora.
Yeah. How was that coming out?
Oh, they're running my tags to find my ID?
Yeah. What did you find out on that?
Okay, so I don't think I have a case in Aurora. I don't have a case in Aurora. The only cases that I have is in Wheat Ridge, and then I've got one now in Denver.
Was that Wheat Ridge where they ran your ID from the tag to ID you?
Yeah. So Wheat Ridge is when they tried to ID me on a long time ago on the channel, and I told them no, and then they arrested me anyways on a different thing. And so when I went to court for that, I took a plea deal so I could get my kids out of the state and go, live like more responsible adult. It was hard for me to get on my feet here, and my kids, I felt like were something for it. And so what I did was I took a business opportunity in Minnesota for a year, and I went and they've had a house this entire year. You know what I mean? I came back, and then all of a sudden, it's all crazy. These cops are arresting me. We're staying in a hotel. It's not what I wanted.
What are you going to do with the money from Guzman?
Huh?
What are you going to do with all the money from Guzman?
Buy a house and then put it back into this community.
Yeah, that's kind of a little boo-boo on his part. He just signed his resignation papers.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So I can't wait for it. And I was telling him while I was walking in there. That's why they put me in the 9-hour hold. I wasn't being rude. I said, Guzman, I can't wait to take you to court. I can't wait.
Just had people dancing on the street.
Right. And then he got mad, and he started talking shit to me, and then all of a sudden his little followers in the jail there decided that they were going to, get mad with him and throw me in holding.
Yeah, they like to punish people a little further. If you saw, you'll have to go back and look at Liberty Freak. He was in the office there talking to their paid actor. He was trying to throw up all the excuses he could for policy, but that has nothing to do with morality.
Right. And so what I'm learning a lot with Denver, these Denver cops specifically, is that they feel like that badge gives them the respect and they don't have to work for it. And it comes down to everybody has to work for equal respect, right? If you can't have a calm conversation about how you're about to get screwed in court, then you shouldn't have that badge on your chest.
Because your wife wasn't respectable enough, your kids had to freeze.
Right, exactly. And that's a whole whole other level. I will be going back down there either tonight or tomorrow morning and filing a bunch of different complaints. And that's exactly where I'm headed with that. That was out of control. I tried to send the river. What was that?
Ladies and gentlemen, that is your tax dollars at work.
It is my tax, yeah, our tax dollars at work, everybody. Getting run over in the middle of the street for nothing.
Yeah, he almost hit you, it looked like.
When I saw that, I was like, oh my God, what got into that man? I mean, it was crazy.
I don't understand it. I couldn't figure it out, and it just blew my mind, really. I've never seen a cop act like that. Not with me, and not with people around in cameras, even. You know what I mean? They have a threat of force pyramid they have to follow as police officers. You know what I mean? So when he rolled up and he said, he's a threat to you, he's a threat to you, that's not, it wasn't the case. He was just making it a scene in order to do what he wanted.
Yeah, he was setting the stage to justify his action.
Yep.
Right, exactly. Yeah, and so
And they do that a lot.
for him is that when you look around on that camera, all those other cops did not feel the same way.
That's twisting and bending, and that's the kind of shit that makes you a bad cop. In case you're listening, Guzman.
That is the kind of shit that makes you a bad cop. You got to be able to go out and actually talk to people, not get all over that they're carrying a camera and filming your guys, and be able to hold a conversation.
What if that was a pair of pliers?
He muted us again.
What if that was a pair of pliers on your side?
Oh, am I back?
Yep.
Sorry.
You keep hitting mute.
No, my Bluetooth was hooked up to the car, and I just sent the wife food. So she turned the car back on and it reconnected, so I had to shut it back off. I'm sorry.
Did you send that food to your wife through Bluetooth?
Yeah, I connect to my wife through Bluetooth.
No, I said, did you send the food to her through Bluetooth?
Oh, send the food to her? No, I wish. I wish that would be that easy. I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Where you at? I'll buy you some food.
So we're actually in Lakewood at 6th and Wadsworth.
What is that on your...
Oh, that's my jail bracelet. Here, y'all want to say hi to McKay? Here you go. It's my jail bracelet. She's asking about this. This is how they know who I was while I was locked up.
Everybody's talking about Cajun.
Oh, this is Daniel.
Well, you got any more questions, Brian?
Yeah, you got any more questions?
I know they had,
They're all friends of mine.
I know they had to be cold. My daughter was freezing last night, and we were there for maybe 2 hours.
You guys were all up there too? That's awesome.
Yeah.
We were with the homeless with Mike's Peak Auditor last night.
Right, okay. I wish I could have been a part of that. I was actually trying not to get arrested while I was doing that audit, so I could go camping. Like, I legitimately was trying to be so nice.
Yeah, that was.
Pike says I just wanted a warm place.
That was
Everybody
crazy.
enjoyed the heating can, but we needed to get going because my daughter was freezing, so I can imagine how your children were doing.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I was freezing and I was inside somewhere. So, I can only imagine what they put my kids through just because they were mad at me for carrying a camera. They don't get to choose who gets property releases, everybody. That's their job. Property releases are their job.
They're trying to judge people and punish them as much as they can.
Right.
And they think that's okay. And it's not okay to be judging and executing when your position is only to uphold the law.
Right. It comes down to conduct unbecoming of an officer and criminal negligence. Everybody.
Yes.
And
Lord,
I
sound good.
couldn't do anything about
Oh,
them doing that. It's not like I baited him into it, everybody. That is conduct unbecoming.
You did nothing.
Absolutely not, you did not. You just were being friendly. You may have aggressively, high capacity said hello.
Right, it's not like I came down there and stood right next to him with a knife on my hip and said, "No justice!"
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not like I wouldn't do that, you know what I mean, to make a point, but that's not where I was that day. You know what I mean? I was trying to make a different point. I got on the pavilion. You know? That's the point I was trying to make yesterday. And then I wanted to talk to the cops. I don't understand it, but we'll figure it out. So, yeah, I'm going to post all my court dates and everything, and we can hopefully fill that courtroom, you know.
Thank you, Brian, for having me on.
Yeah, thanks you.
Thanks for coming on. I appreciate you, man. If you don't have my phone number, give me a call or call Pikes. And if you want, we can get together. I sent with the wife for food, but it'd be nice to meet you and shake your hand.
Alright, well, you met me. Give me a ride home.
Alright, Brian, thanks for calling, man.
Okay.
Alright, bye. Oh, now whoever was trying to call in, try calling back.
We're still here, everybody.
Somebody was trying to get through.
We're here.
Southside Slackers in the house.
Southside, what's up?
He said Boozman and Salvagina must have been in the same graduating class.
That sounds right.
I still can't get over it, man. I rewatched that footage over and over and over. And I don't know what got into him.
I don't know either. I really don't. Like, he got an instant hard on and just attacked me. That was it. Like, there was no question. There wasn't any, hey, what are you doing? What are you doing by my guys? What are your intentions? He didn't even try to see my intention.
Yeah, that's when I talked to the lady on the phone. She was like, I know, I had mentioned what happened, and I gave her the scenario all over the phone, and I told her that Guzman just like reacted out of line, and she's like, I know Sergeant Guzman, he wouldn't just do that. There had to be a reason.
Yeah, they all want to argue video proof. I don't get it. Like, how do you argue video proof of someone that is compliant, not resisting?
Yeah, you're on the air. Who's this?
This is Tuck Please Suck. How you doing, Brian?
Hey, Tuck, what's going on, brother?
What's up, Tuck? How's it going?
Well, that's pretty good. I watched what happened to you live yesterday. That El Chopo Guzman is a punk. You know, can't believe that he was that stupid to do that. Just come out and just attack somebody. You know. And I seen him. Of course, I seen him interact with other people too. Of course, one of them is in jail right now, and he is. I mean, I can't believe they can even let him call himself a sergeant.
Right. I don't even understand how he got there in the first place. Sergeants are supposed to have more control over themselves. There was a lieutenant there that could teach Sergeant Guzman a thing or two about policing. But Guzman's on his own trip, and he's got all those guys following him because he's the man with the power.
Yeah, they got the power trip just like they do in Tucson. They act the same way down here. It's something to do with these big police departments. They think they're above the law, and they can do what they want. And I mean, he's not the only bad apple on that one, because when Freeman was there and all that, there was a real heavyset guy, worse than Guzman even. They had to restrain him and push him back.
Right.
You remember what I'm talking about? But they need to get control of their officers, because that is absolutely ridiculous to liberty and do what they did.
Right, that was
I'm
just
glad
wrong.
you're out.
I didn't understand it. I didn't even
How did your
understand how
family
we got
make out? When I was watching it yesterday, I saw your family had to get the keys. How did that work out? Did they ever let you give the keys to them?
No, they did not. I asked multiple different times to get them given to Liberty Free, just so I could make sure that my car would get moved and my kids had their van.
Yeah.
And they didn't want to do that. And then when my wife came to the jail, they didn't like her attitude enough to do a property release, which is their job. Like, they don't get to choose if they like someone enough to do their fucking job.
Yeah, you gotta,
Right.
that's so sad. You gotta kiss their ass. You gotta kiss their ass before they do their job.
Right, and that's not how it is.
That's sad.
The mom with
Your
5
kids?
kids and 8 years old and 2 years old should not have to come in and kiss their ass to make sure that she has her property that they unlawfully took from her husband.
Right. Hey, hold on, 303. What's your PayPal?
I think Pikes is gonna post it here in a second. I was gonna cut this off and get it for him, but then he's gonna get it from somewhere else and post a link. So, are you posting it?
Jerry says, ask if Guzman's elbow hurt. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, so Guzman elbowed Pike.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, it's on his channel, but Guzman was mad about all of us being there. Here, hold on, I'm gonna get my link and I'll send it to Pike right now. Hold on.
Of course he's mad.
So he
All
was
right,
mad.
anyway, that's all I wanted to say, guys. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, thanks, Tuck.
Yeah,
He hit,
I'll talk together. I gotta get back to listen to your stream. So, all right, thank you.
All right,
Talk to you
man.
later.
Yep.
Yes, bye.
Bye. Well, lines are open if anyone else wants to call in. While he's getting his PayPal address.
Okay, I just sent it to Pikes. He's gonna post it in the main chat. So, yeah, I don't understand how we got there, but, we're all gonna go find out together, I promise. I'm gonna take you guys on the trip with me.
Yeah, I mean, that just calls for a mass... No. Hey, Bowman, what's up?
Hey, no, I wanted to let everybody know, if Regan wouldn't have seen that they were doing that just to be mean and cruel. The officers in there knows Guzman. I mean, look, 303 even said that they didn't like the way he was talking, so they put him in a cell for 9 hours. They did it on purpose. They did it plain and simple to hurt him. But instead, it was hurting a mom and 5 kids.
Yep.
They were out there in the
They
cold.
knew about that too. She told them. And then so did Liberty Free.
Right, and if it wasn't for the community coming together, what would have
You
happened?
guys rescued my family. 100%. This community looked out for my family when this guy ran me over in the middle of the street. And you guys took care of my family when no one else should have even had to. And it's humbling, and it makes me want to cry a little bit, really.
What I'm getting at is that you're a part of a community, and therefore your wife and your children are a part of that community as well. But what if you were just an everyday citizen on the street, and this happened to that citizen, and they didn't have family in the area? Exactly.
Right.
What would have happened to that wife and those kids?
They would have been missing their father and their husband still. They would have lost their van. They wouldn't have been able to get their property. They would have not had the money to be somewhere safe.
Exactly. Yeah. We're just lucky. Y'all were just lucky that Regan was close and heard it on the live stream, because we had no clue that Mrs. 303 was even going there or was there. I didn't know that, and I was on y'all live stream.
Right. Miss 303 is always up there, and she's always going to be doing what she does. This is not the first time that this has happened. But what she was really stoked about, she was laughing about it in the van. She says, "This is the lowest your bond has ever been."
And thank God. Thank God.
Right, and it's because I wasn't doing anything illegal, guys. Normally, okay, and that's the other thing too. If I would have been able to see this coming, if I would have thought that Guzman was going to run up on me like that, I would have probably tried to force it into a whole nother courtroom and probably defended myself some. But I didn't see that coming at all. I didn't think it was going to happen. You know, I didn't. It was
From
just,
what I have researched, this is going to be like an almost park, other than it's with a knife and not a gun. Because there is a city ordinance that says you can't have a blade over 3.5 inches. But
right.
state trumps city ordinances. So you're going to have to fight it.
Yep, and that's what we're going to do. I'm going to take you guys with me on the whole trip. We're going to fight it in court. I'm going to try and get a good attorney. You know what I mean? And then as soon as I beat the case, I'm going to take you guys with me on the whole lawsuit process. So
I can't wait to see it. You're going to make law. I mean, you're going to change law. I'm sorry. Because that is an unconstitutional city ordinance.
That's my goal. And then watch when we go down for the Second Amendment to fix the Second Amendment in downtown Denver. After that.
Yep.
So we started with this. Guzman wanted this fight, so we can start with this one. And then after that, we're going to be down there fighting for the Second Amendment downtown Denver. Mr.
Okay,
Nice
that's
Guy
all I
from
wanted to
Green.
say. I'll be in channel lurking.
All right, Boomer. Thanks for
Have a good
calling.
night.
Thanks for calling. I appreciate you.
I think somebody from Canada was trying to call in. So
Nice.
that's if you want to try calling back. Yeah, guys, I can only do the one at a time thing. I don't want to get it too cluttered with multiple calls. So, just one. I can only do the one at a time. I just don't want it to get out of hand. You know, too many voices trying to speak over each other. So,
Conference call type stuff. Gotta raise your hand, man.
yeah, I get conference calls and on top of doing a video conference, and it's, you know, it gets a little too hectic. Hey, it's Brian. You're on the air. Who's this?
This is Constitutional Network News.
Ah, Mr. Canada. What's up?
No, I'm not Mr. Canada. I'm in North Carolina. You're thinking of Clash in Canada, I think.
Well, there was a CNN that was in Canada too. So,
Oh, really?
yeah.
One of the things I'd like to say, well, I'm curious, how long was the actual knife?
You what?
How long was the actual knife he was carrying?
The actual knife that I was carrying, 5 inches.
Oh, 5 inches. Okay. Hey, years ago, I would tell you, this is a cop took a knife away from me. And the situation that they did to you was absolutely ridiculous. I mean, I was doing donuts in a parking lot in the snow in a van. I had a Nazi tooth knife, which has a metal sheath, slid into the dashboard of the van, and it had the knife in, basically the handle was sticking out of the dash. Which is still legal, it's in plain view, and not even on my person. But when the cops started giving me crap for this shit, I had no driver's license. And he sees the knife and he's like, let me have that. I just give it to him because I'm like, shit, I won't start this shit right now. He's not asking me for my damn driver's license. But, I mean, he didn't tackle me to the fucking ground. He let me hand him a knife with, I'm holding the handle, handing it to him, you know. To jump on you is ridiculous over an ordinance like that.
So I was talking about it a little bit earlier. They've got a threat to force pyramid they've got to follow. And I did not meet that threat to force pyramid. I did not give him a reason to fear for his safety or his officer's safety.
Well, I saw that, I couldn't believe it. I was like, what? Where'd all of a sudden the picture's gone and you're looking at the sky. I'm like, what the fuck's going on?
Yep.
You know?
Yep. And that's because he grabbed me, right, exactly. And I didn't think that was going to happen. And then all of a sudden, I had 3 or 4 of them on me, and they're yelling, and they're all trying to get me to move, and I'm like, what's going on? You know,
it's ridiculous. With 3 or 4 cops standing around you, all you do is ask for it.
right? Like common sense says you guys can overpower me.
Let us take, you know, if I was a policeman, that's what I would have done. I mean, what's the point of slamming somebody to the ground when you have 3 or 4 policemen surrounding somebody? It ain't like you got a submachine gun and it's in your hand. You know?
Right, exactly. That's exactly. They acted like I was a terrorist with a camera.
Oh,
Take
yeah.
it.
I've actually, believe it or not, I actually met Muhammad Atta, who's the main guy from 9/11. About 2 weeks from 9/11, just before 9/11. All he had was a newspaper. And he might tackle him to the ground. But it just blows my mind. And then they have this court, this woman you guys were talking about earlier, saying, "Oh, Guzman wouldn't do that." She obviously doesn't pay any attention to what he actually does. And
He's not paying enough attention. He's gotten so used to his job and his hatred for Eric Brandt and the like that this is how he treats people with cameras.
I think he hates everybody but himself.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and his little fat
Yeah.
wanders around bumping into people and getting felony convictions.
Huh?
His job is he walks around bumping into people and getting freaking felony charges put on people.
So, and he didn't even hit me with a felony after grabbing me like that.
Well, he's running around telling everybody there that you threatened someone.
Right.
Well, I was listening, didn't hear any verbal threat.
Menacing or something if I threw
on one hand. Which hand did you have your camera in?
My left hand,
the knife was?
gagging the camera as well. When I walked up to those officers, I kept here, if you can see, I kept my hands like this above me, right? And so basically I kept the knife right there above like where my phone clip is. And so I kept my hands cocked like this in order to make sure that they knew I was not going anywhere near that knife, right? It's just a tool. It's just there. I just want to talk to you guys. I had both my hands holding the selfie stick that CopBlock Nomad gave, or Liberty Freak TV gave me. I had both my hands on that thing and my elbows cocked, so they definitely didn't fear for their safety or think that I was going to grab that knife. And then when I asked those other cops if they thought I was going to grab that knife or if they felt scared, they looked at the ground and shut up. They had nothing to say.
I didn't hear you even mention the knife. I just heard you walk up and say hello.
I said, hello, I just wanted to say hi. I thought you were Guzman. You know, oh, this is Guzman. And then Guzman says, he's got a knife, he's got a knife. I said, it's a tool. And then all of a sudden they jumped.
Yeah, I heard you say it was a tool. I thought it was like one of the leathering tools and stuff.
Right. So I got it at Walmart, folks. You can buy it at Walmart. It can't be that illegal, okay?
Yeah, that was... Oh, man. And then when you were in the ambulance...
So they didn't realize that the channel was live? Still? And I got the guy, the first officer that had the camera, I got him to put it in the bag. I said, just put it in my bag, man. And so he kept it kind of around me. And I mean, when I realized that it was still live and that he was still, you know what I mean, I started trying to get him to like talk. And those guys just felt like talking, man. I guess they were trying to make it stick. They were trying to get their stories straight, making sure that they all go together. I'm like, no. And then Guzman got mad because I told him that he injured me when he dropped me. So my whole head's like bruised here and on this side too. Not from what he did altogether, like this side's different. But this side of my head, it's all bruised up here and shit from where he dropped me on the ground. And that's what actually caused the original seizure.
Yeah, I watched the whole thing where you were in the ambulance, man. It's good that that camera stayed rolling. I almost wish the police left it in the police car so we could hear more of their bullshit.
Right. I was hoping. They were going to transport me, though, so they put it in there. But it was kind of cool to see that. And then you know, at least they got that I actually had a seizure, and everybody acknowledged that too. Because right after that, Guzman says, "Oh, you're fine." And he actually pulled his body cam out and took pictures of my head. He says, "Nope, you're fine. Don't you worry about that." I'm like, Guzman, I can't wait to take you to work. Just can't wait.
Yeah, man, I hope you get a good lawyer. If you talk to Eric, man, he knows some good lawyers, that's for sure.
So I'll talk to Eric. I definitely need to get a good lawyer. I'm gonna fight this every step of the way. You know, I'm hoping that the justice system will prevail and that these judges are gonna see in the first couple contacts with us that this is just a bullshit case. I'm really hoping.
Yeah.
You know,
pretty much most of the there, the Liberty was pretty far away from you from where his shots were, but it shows him taking you down.
Right. So, and then Liberty Street got it pretty good.
That's totally uncalled for when you're not even, you know, you weren't reaching for it, you were just standing there. You know, you said, let me have that, or, you know, don't move.
It was completely uncalled for. If you guys saw that video, I wasn't being threatening to anybody. My whole point was that I don't want to be a threat to anybody. Right. I want to communicate. Let's get some communication between these guys. Right? So the security office there, you guys saw I was making progress with them. How am I going to make that progress with the security guys and get their bosses to come down and acknowledge that they're the ones that are actually screwing up shit for them? Right? I was getting there, and then I decided I was going to do something else. We were doing good work in that video. We were doing great work in that video, and then Guzman decided that he wanted to take it a step further.
I called it, you know, it was after it was live, but when I saw it, I couldn't believe it. You were doing great work. It didn't seem like anything really was going on other than just being assholes.
Right, right. And it was just uncalled for. Super, I could not believe it. I don't understand how the cop got there in the first place, but I'm sure he'll get his chance to explain it sometime. I'm wondering how much of these guys are actually going to show up in court. Every time Denver tries to take me to court, the officers don't show up to, you know, testify. So
Now,
that's my outstanding record with Denver. When they arrest me, they take me to court, and then they make me go to court 4 or 5 times, and then they drop the case because the officers don't show up to testify.
hey, Big Nick.
And I've done this with tickets. If the policeman doesn't show up, you can object to them continuing it. So there's a hardship for you to come back for that.
Right. So, and that'll be my plan.
Under Pennsylvania law, you kind of have that leeway. I don't know about Colorado.
So that's actually what happened. They give you the chance to object to it. With the other case that I had, they made me do 5 times. I had to come back. With this, I will definitely be pushing to object to it around the 2nd or the 3rd time. You know what I mean? Look, they're not here. They don't plan to be here. You saw the video. Let's continue without, you know, no, sorry. If my accuser's not here and I can't face them, then it doesn't stick, Your Honor. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Worth a try.
I'm going to go on
I want to ask,
saying that I threatened them.
what's the fastest way to make bacon?
I've got a few different ways. I just normally throw them in the frying pan.
Hey, you run over Guzman with a steamroller. Actually, a joke I wrote for Eric. He hasn't heard it yet because I just texted it to him about a month ago. He hasn't got it yet.
Alright, man.
Well, I added the Guzman to it.
Yeah, there we go. So we're gonna be doing Guzman stuff now, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you what, it's happening.
Yeah.
Well, let me let you guys go so you get another caller in there.
Alright, man. Thanks for calling.
I appreciate you. Thanks,
brothers.
Alright. Hey, Big Nick's in the channel, man.
What's up, Big Nick? Yeah.
Yeah, whoever tried to call in, call back. Well, damn. 3 missed calls. Well, whoever gets there first.
Watch your kid.
And you guys saw the channel, the mods keep posting both mine and his PayPal, so feel free if you want. Hey, you're live. Who's this?
Who do you think it is, dude?
Ah, the monkey. What's up?
What's up, dude? Dude, I'm pretty glad to see you out, bud.
I'm glad to see you out, man. How are you doing?
I'm fucking ducky, dude. But more importantly, hey, when's the court date?
What's up?
I said, when's the court date?
When's the court date? The 5th. Hang on, let me make sure. So February 5th for Denver, and then February 25th for Wheat Ridge. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to thank Wheat Ridge for issuing that warrant by rescinding that guilty plea and taking them back to court on that as well. So I will be doing that on the channel as well.
Me and you are going to be court buddies that day at federal court February 5th.
What's up?
I said, me and you are court buddies that day at federal court February 5th.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
There we go. We'll be court buddies.
So they didn't rough you up too bad in there or anything like that, even though you're molting off, they were just tough guys?
Yeah, they were just tough guys in there, man. I mean, really what it was is when I showed up in there, I was talking shit to Guzman because he just wouldn't shut his fucking mouth. And I don't care if I just had a seizure. I don't care, you know what I mean, if I'm sick. I don't care if I make sense. You know what I mean? Like, I was already in handcuffs. What are you going to do to me? You know? And so I didn't realize that him and his little boyfriends in there were so close that they were going to threaten to slam me and tell me how gangster they are and that I was going to find out. And then they're so gangster that they locked me down in holding with no toilet paper or anything else for 9 hours.
Dude, I would have shit all over the place.
And I didn't get toilet paper for 16 hours total after they actually got me out of the pen, and then they got me upstairs. I still didn't get it until today. I had to go and beg for toilet paper around 1 p.m. today, guys.
That's
Again,
absolutely fucking silly, dude. Absolutely
yeah,
silly.
for multiple different times. It's not the first time I said anything. It's just the first time someone actually listened.
Fucking retarded. But, alright. I'll fucking get off and stop sounding like a retard right now.
Yeah.
So, thanks for answering my questions, man. Glad to see you out. Brian, awesome job as always, brother.
Thanks, man.
Okay, it's good to be out, man.
Yep. Make sure you fucking hug them wife and kids for everything, too.
Oh yeah, I have been this whole time. That was so I was supposed to start the stream a little bit sooner, but my kids didn't want me to go to the store, so I ended up having to drive around.
Alright, guys.
Alright, thanks,
Alright.
Monk.
Yeah, talk to you later.
Yep.
Later.
Yeah. I got your text, Regan. So, yeah, lines are open if anybody wants to call in. I just realized I had my hand over the speaker on the phone.
That happens to the best of us. I think I just got
Hey, Michelle.
Flower Girl Deb sent me $30 while I'm on here.
Yeah, Flower Girl Deb is awesome, man. She's
Flower
a
Girl
great
Deb.
supporter.
I love it. Thank you so much for the support to my family and me. We appreciate it more than I can even tell you.
Yeah, Flower Girl Deb has helped many people, so she's an amazing person.
That's awesome.
And she doesn't even, she stays behind the scenes, man. She doesn't even barely talk or anything.
Well, thank you.
So, thank you very much, Flower Girl Deb. So, there's a couple people that do. They stay behind the scenes and they just help however they can.
That's really cool, though. I mean, however it works for each person, right?
Yep.
Whatever they can do for whatever they can work out.
Hey, Regina. So, lines are open, guys. You want to call in, talk to either one of us. It was just a 5-inch hunting knife type knife.
Yeah, it's a 5-inch hunting knife, guys.
So
that's what I got tackled and beat up over.
without even going for it.
Yep, didn't touch it at all.
Yeah, that's just...
After they started grabbing me, Guzman came around to my right side and unclipped my knife, and then said, "Oh, it's unclipped." But Guzman did it. They had my hand. I never once touched that thing.
Yeah, Michelle, it was against city ordinance, but legal according to state law. So, you know, state trumps city. Otto the watchdog said he'd be in jail with you. His knife's bigger.
That's what's up, Otto. See, exactly. Sometimes we just carry big knives. I ate steak with it, and then the other day I was cutting open sandbags with it, or salt bags for ice.
Yeah, I normally carry a 4-inch flip open on my side, but I'm on probation, so I'm not allowed.
Okay. Makes sense. Always carry a knife. You never know when you're going to have to open up a bag or, you know.
Right.
Eat some food.
West Texas Truth says that basically I'm not doing you any favors by having you on here talking about it, even though it was filmed from like 4 different angles and been mirrored 1,000 times. Somehow I'm doing wrong by having you on here talking.
Oh no.
He's just a pain in the ass troll. He's always around.
So, talking about it, guys, is how we're going to actually get the community involved.
Exactly.
So, I'm going to show you guys firsthand. I'm going to get you guys involved. I'm going to show you how I do this, how I get these charges dropped, how the DAs and everybody else act with me. I'm showing you guys so you guys can do it in your personal lives.
This is exactly how it should be done. Everybody should be helping each other and making sure that you got your camera going. Look
right.
at
right.
what
Well,
now.
It's a big deal to me, right? This, like one of the other lady was saying earlier, what would have happened if I wasn't part of the YouTube auditor, you know, cop accountability family? You know what I mean?
Right.
My family would have been left out in the cold, no help at all. I probably wouldn't be bonded yet, and I'd still have all this drama, and my kid would be screwed over. You know what I mean? So I want to show the people that aren't part of this community, or that, you know, don't necessarily want to just film cops all the time, but if it happens to them, that they can do this too.
Jerry.
Hey, Jerry, what's up, man? You're on the air.
What's up, Jerry?
Hey, guys.
What's going on?
I did have a question about Pike's Beat, August. How do you feel about that elbow?
How'd you like that elbow?
I didn't make a complaint last time. Chavez tried to run me and News Now 303 over, but this time I'm making a complaint. So
I'm gonna go up there with Pikes and as many other people as we can get together, because you know how we do.
I didn't like it. To answer your question, I didn't like it at all.
Thank
He
you.
actually got me right in the sternum, right in the
Yeah, I
sternum.
saw it. Man, that was rude.
Right, and then he didn't arrest him for anything.
No.
So that's a problem. If a cop can just
303.
walk up on somebody and elbow him, and he isn't arresting him for anything, that's a big issue in my mind.
Yep. Hey, 303.
What's up, boss?
You ought to start a poll on how many times you heard the word knife spoken during your trial.
Okay. I'm down, and then we can turn it into a drinking game.
Yeah.
I'm betting about 200.
Yeah, so you gotta take a shot every time you hear the word knife, knives, or something related to that. And we'll tally it up, and then afterwards, we can all sit down and watch it and see how long we actually can stand.
That's awesome. Just one more comment, and I'm sorry if I get your name wrong, but I believe it was Liberty Freak that went into the police station to try to get your keys.
Yep.
Yep.
I would have suggested one thing if I could have got to my computer in time. It would have been to tell the cop just to break the rules, give me the keys, I'll write a complaint, they'll say you did nothing wrong.
Right.
It's dead true.
So sometimes we gotta try and be the nice guy, and the other times I feel like Liberty Freak is just trying to just why are you doing this to these kids? You know, sometimes we can't get past what people are doing to the people they shouldn't be doing it to. You know what I mean? In order to be the nice guy. And, you know, can't hate on him for that. He was looking out for my family. And I would have been so much more meaner about it if I was him.
Yep.
So, you know what I mean?
Well, I'm willing to bet both of those two officers had trouble going to sleep that night.
I guarantee they both had trouble going to sleep that night. And it's because they know that this is not over at all. We will see them in court. Or they won't come to court because they know they will.
They're talking about getting Monkey out there with you.
What? I would love to film with Monkey. That would be awesome.
A good thing or not? Ooh. Alright, I'll let you go. Thanks.
Alright, man. For those that didn't know, that's Pikes Peak Auditors. That's with 303. Be sure you go and subscribe to him if you haven't already. He's a great Colorado auditor. He also does live streams. Make sure you tune in. And he's got a podcast. So, he's all over.
He's all over the place, and he's great. He's been helping look out for me and my family and a bunch of other people. He's all over. Check him out, guys.
Yep, there he is. He's the guy that gave out hugs the other day.
So, Nancy, thank you. $20 on my PayPal. I appreciate you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's awesome. To anybody that's helping out, you know, that's great.
It really is. At this point, I mean, this is how I'm making it right now, guys. YouTube. YouTube is actually how my family is making it.
Black Label says you look like the actor from The Punisher, the guy who plays Jigsaw.
That's awesome. I'm going to have to go and look at that and then see if I can do a video where I actually look like the guy.
700 Club, it was 5 inches. Need to put like a broadcast banner of that.
5-inch plate, everybody.
Lines are open.
I mean, really, if I'm eating a big, 6 or 7 inch wide steak that's an inch thick, that 5-inch plate helps, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, we know they're watching this, but he hasn't said anything that would harm him. All he's doing is talking about what was on film.
Yep. I'm not giving anybody anything. And guys, guess what? There's nothing that they can get me with on here. There's nothing that I'm going to say that could incriminate me at all.
You need to get Guzman to call in here and see if he'd justify his actions.
Yeah, let's get Guzman in this.
I bet you're watching. Call in, Guzman.
Come on, sweetheart. Oh, Guzman.
Dude, he didn't say anything he'll regret later, so it's irrelevant.
Right. He's not going to regret it till he has to say it in front of a judge.
Yeah, it's just nothing but major support, man. Everybody's behind you.
I love it.
How did Guzman measure the knife before he tackled you?
He didn't. He didn't even bother to look up and look.
There's the magic question. Nothing,
Yep.
It kills me because you did nothing overt. You didn't say anything that could be construed as a threat. You said hello. And it was like, what was he thinking? He has to know that he's screwed on this one.
Yeah. Oh, he knows. That's why he was coming up. So that's what I was saying earlier, right? When I was talking about it, he knows because when he rolled up, all of a sudden his officers weren't backing the fact that I was a threat. He said, oh, he's a threat, and the cops were like, no, he's not. Right? Like their body language and the way that they acted with me and everything else, until Guzman actually put hands on me and I started kind of backing up a little, that was when they were like, oh, he's in it, now I have to get his back.
Yeah, Monkey says Guzman the Guzzler.
Guzman the Guzzler. I'm going to start using it.
Yay, you're live. Who's this? Hello? Hello? Call back.
Call back.
That's stupid. The Google line, you gotta. It makes me push 1 to accept the call, and sometimes it screws up.
Makes sense.
But I'm not. You know, I had a cyber stalker, man. The guy was calling me like 100 times a day, so that's why I only have like throwaway numbers now. Well, whoever that was, try calling back.
Call back. We're here.
Mrs. Mac, Little Mac's in here.
I just got a $50 PayPal from Black Label CopBlock. Thank you, Black Label.
Awesome. Thanks, Black Label.
I appreciate it so much. This is helping my family and me more than I can tell you guys. I'm going to be able to go back out and just keep doing this for everybody. For a
Yeah.
while.
There's a chili potato in here.
Any potatoes?
I don't know. Furry might get a little jealous. Apparently my daughter left. Anyone else want to call in while he's here? It's okay, Nuck and Fudge. He understands. She's upset she can't help at the moment.
No, we're good. We're getting all kinds of help right now. Like I said, you guys are making it so my family is good.
East Valley, Arizona Transparency says hello.
Hi, East Valley, Arizona Transparency. How are you?
Yeah, I love Carolina and Fort Worth stuff. She's funny. You watch her in her videos?
I've got to go find more people. We just got another one, $20 from Mark Hodson. Mark, thank you.
Yeah, I try not to say people's real names on here. If it's a real name, I just say their first and last initial.
My bad.
So, yeah, well, I don't know if they're okay with it.
I'm just trying to show credit where credit's due, everybody. I don't mean to step on anyone's toes. The support that my family has received and is still receiving is so humbling. I can't even explain it. And it makes me feel really good about what I do. And I'm telling you, I can't tell you how much I appreciate everybody, and I just want to give credit where it's due.
Chi-Town Citizen says what's up.
Look, Chi-Town Citizen.
Yeah, it's one of those things, you know, it's kind of like, with me, you know, I don't want to get accused or accidentally release somebody's name, you know, and PayPal doesn't hide their real name.
Right.
So, apparently, that was Freedom Fighter that you said. He said it's okay that you said his name.
Awesome. Thank you, Freedom Fighter. I appreciate you, sir.
Hey, you're live. Who's this?
Texas Rose.
Hey, Tex Rose.
Hi. How are you?
Hi. Doing well. I just want to put it out there. Thank you, 303, for taking the hard knocks for us to watch you. We support you as best as we can in different ways. And it goes to show the community can come together when it wants to, and you were a big help in showing the rest of the community that we can take care of ourselves.
Thank you. I appreciate everything that everyone's doing for me and my family, and I'm just trying to do what I do for you guys. You know what I mean? And it makes me feel really good to be a part of this community and the way that everybody looks out for everybody. And I mean, even just a little bit of what everybody's done is just so humbling. And I just want to, you know, I just want to show everybody that cops aren't supposed to be like this. So,
that was a perfect example of what they should not do.
Right, right. And especially to somebody who's just being nice, and you know what I mean? So that's what I want to show everybody. You know, some people will argue with me and say that I'm a cop hater, but that's not it at all. You know what I mean? You guys didn't see any cop hate on that video, or most of my other videos.
I'm not a cop hater either. I hate bad cops. I hate cops who support bad cops. And part of what I and many of the rest of the community try to do is shine the light. And Sunday's shown a big floodlight on Denver. And it's not going unnoticed. And thank you for being a part of that. Also, I want to say there's a lot of things going on in support of auditors, activists, cop watchers that you don't see on YouTube, that you don't hear about. But there's always something going on, and there are a lot of people that support that don't have go live, but they are just as important by supporting and making the calls and doing the research. And I appreciate them, and I've switched from calling the people who like my channel to subs. I'm now calling them my friends. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tex Rose.
I kind of consider everyone here like my family, really extended, but still, I would do the same for all of you. You guys want something to get pitbulled? I'll go out there and pitbulling for you.
That's all I had to say. I didn't want to take up much time, but I wanted to acknowledge that this is a good example of something bad happening and good coming out of it, and showing everybody that we can do good and we can come together. And I want to say thank you, Brian, and thank you, 303 and Pikes and Reagan, and I could be here until tomorrow naming everybody. I love you all, and stay safe out there and go have some fun.
Thanks,
I appreciate
Tex.
all the help that this community gets from everybody, no matter what they do. All of the calls and everything, and we're going to have more fun. You're going to see more videos of this guy for sure.
Thank you. Goodbye now.
Bye.
Goodbye now.
Yeah, whoever else tried calling in, go ahead. Well, 4 missed. You know, this thing tells me 1, then 4, then 3. Hey, you're live. Who's this?
Hello?
Hey.
What's up, Brian King? This is East Valley AG Transparency.
Hey, what's going on, man?
What's up, man?
This is East Valley AG.
What's up?
This is East Valley AG Transparency.
Yeah, we hear you.
How's it going, man?
Hey, what's up, man? 303, I'm glad to see you out of jail.
I'm happy to be out.
Yeah, I'm sure, man. I'm sure you hear me? Yeah, I don't know if you watched, but here in Arizona, we got you on live. We followed your case, man. A bunch of us here, we got it out there, man. We let a lot of people know what's going on.
That's awesome. I haven't really been able to see too much just yet. I saw a bunch of like the Denver-based videos.
Yeah.
But like I got in the car, my phone wouldn't shut up, and then I had to drive, and then, you know what I mean? I was driving until I was on this live stream, so I'm still trying to catch up, but I'm going to get around and check everything out. And all the support that everybody's done and I've heard about all these videos, and I mean, it's so humbling, just the videos and just the amount of support that everybody's showing, and other auditors. I'm happy that I can be a part of this community and, you know, show everybody how we handle cops like this.
No, man, hey, we're happy to have you in this community, man. High Desert Community Watch is one of the ones that alerted me to your arrest, so I got out there.
Appreciate that. Yeah, High Desert is awesome. I've been talking to him for a while now, and I want to go out and film with him, just haven't had a chance to. So, yeah. I'm working on it. Obviously, my situation isn't like the greatest at this point, but, you know, we'll get there.
Yeah. High Desert comes out to Arizona a lot with us, man.
he's one of our biggest supporters here in Arizona. I don't know if you've seen what we're doing here. If you check out our web, we actually have a website, ArizonaUnitedNews.com. It's a correlation of about 15 auditors. We've made one news station, one news organization. We're following these fucking tyrants. We come together here in Arizona. It's an amazing thing, actually.
That is awesome, and it's actually a goal that I want to try and work under. For Denver, I was trying to build something like that, where I have an actual like company that everybody can work under and use. So that's awesome. I'm super stoked that someone's doing that already. I want to check it out and see what else you got going on, because I don't know anything. So.
Well, hey man, Brian King.
Yeah.
Brian King, I want to show you love, brother. Thank you for always coming on and doing this for these auditors. I'm catching a lot of, like, I don't mean to talk over anybody. I'm catching it late. Like, when I'm talking, he's done talking. It's weird, but hey, I just want to say, hey, Brian King, thank you for bringing on 303, man. Thank you for always doing what you do, man. Here in Arizona, we're always watching. 303, man, we got your back, bro. Email us, check us out, dude. Hey, we're always here for you, man. This is what this movement is about, man. It's about unity. We're all one in this movement, man. So we all need to join together. But Arizona's doing it a little different, and everybody's welcome aboard this Arizona United News, man. But I just want to say peace, man. Much love. I got to get up at 3 a.m. in the morning, but Brian King, much love. 303 CopBlock, glad you're out. Peace,
much
man.
love. Thanks, man.
Thanks, man. That was a good call, man.
Mary B, thank you for the $10 donation. I appreciate you. My family appreciates you.
Yeah, there is a delay built into the stream. This way you guys don't get buffering. So, I'm sorry if it throws you off, but, it makes it so you guys don't get rips.
Yep.
So, there's 303's PayPal if anybody else wants to contribute. Mine is above my head. Sarah Tay is posting your PayPal for you.
Sarah Tay, thank you so much.
Hey, Tulare County Cop Watch. What's up, brother?
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Thanks, Colorado Donkey. Yeah, man, lots of people showing you love, man. A lot of people. F Off Productions. Yeah, F Off Productions is saying stay safe.
We're safe. We're good.
Oh, so excuse me, Tay. She's correcting me because it's supposed to be Sarah T, not Tay. So, I've been corrected. Steve Pinder, what's up, man? Yeah, I know you probably haven't gotten a chance to watch him yet, but Steve Pinder, really cool guy, does a lot of just talking streams, but he's got a lot of cop friends, and he trains cops in martial arts. So, he's a really, really cool guy. Good hit.
Yeah. I had to. That's how I stopped myself from having these seizures, guys.
He has 5 kids from, I believe they're from 2 to 8.
Yep, 2 to 8. My oldest boy is 8. Then I've got a 6-year-old boy. And then I got a 5-year-old girl, 4-year-old girl, and then a 2-year-old girl.
My oldest is about to be 18, man.
Oh, man.
So,
I'm not looking forward to those with the girls.
Oh, yeah. Yep. My son is going to be 16, and my youngest will be 13. So,
Nice.
yeah. They're all in that teenage years now. I mean, my daughter is going to be graduating high school.
Alright.
So, makes you feel old, brother.
Seems like you did a good job, Ben.
Yeah, I'm actually talking to my ex about doing a stream, talking about the lack of proper teaching of our children in school.
I think that's a real thing too. And I mean, my kids aren't old enough for me to get into all the extra complicated stuff. But I don't know if you saw, I actually carried the camera into one of my kids' schools after they got into a fight. And what happened was a group of boys chased him, and then one of the boys hit him in the face. My son turned around, squared up on him, knocked him out. Okay, 'cause he's like his dad. And then all the teacher saw was that he knocked this kid out and he's asleep on the ground. Right? So they grabbed my son, take him to the office, called his dad, and they said, hey, you know, your son hit this kid. And I said, what'd that kid do to him? You guys better not say a word to him until I get there. Sit him in a corner, be quiet, don't talk to him. If you need the water, give it to him. Right? And then I showed up with the camera, and they didn't know I was filming. And then it took an hour and a half because they wanted to punish him for defending himself, like take away his recesses and stuff, and give him detention at 8 years old. And I said, no, that's a 14th Amendment violation. I put the camera in their face, and all of a sudden they were like, oh, okay, we're not going to take any of his recesses. He doesn't need detention. We understand he was just defending himself. You're right. So it's all over the place. You know what I mean? And then me as a kid, I was a foster kid. No one taught me 90% of the stuff that I am now learning I'm supposed to know.
Right.
You know what I mean? This is all, it's like new to me. You know, and it bothers me because I didn't really know. No one told me deeper big things. You know what I mean? Like credit and all this other stuff that I didn't even know about, you know? And so now I'm like learning, and I'm learning that I have to have my attitude a different way than I was originally taught growing up. All this other stuff. And it's like, no one ever told me this. No one ever told me that we're supposed to do this differently.
Yeah, see, I had a class on the Constitution in high school, and my problem with it was my hearing. It started going real bad at about 16 years old. They expected I would be fully deaf by 21. So the fact that I can hear it all right now is amazing, but I have to use this speech to text. But there's an auditor, he shortened his name, but he was going by Defend Not Dumb. He's deaf. And he was doing audits, and he was including the American Disability Act into his audits.
Okay.
So it was really good. He did really good work.
I'm going to have to check that out.
Yeah, he shortened it to just Defend.
Okay.
But, yeah, I mean, anybody, well, now you got Blind Justice. You know, he's blind, and he's doing audits.
That's so awesome.
Yeah,
That's so awesome.
There's another guy you'll see, he doesn't audit, but he's in the channels a lot, he supports. His name is Albert Kazmirov, and he's completely blind, and he's got a screen reader and an automatic braille machine, and that's how he supports us.
Wow. That's awesome.
So, yeah. So
that's what I'm saying, everybody. You got all kinds of different kinds of work that people can do. Don't necessarily got to carry a camera, and it's amazing to see and hear about.
Yeah. Well, and Big Nick's making the fact that he's black on top of all of everything else. Yeah, see, my children are kind of catchy too. My children are mixed. They're all half black. And so they catch the racism along with everything else, you know, and it's rough. Even today. So
that's terrible.
Yeah, you know, in this day and age, you wouldn't think that, you know.
That would be an issue?
Yeah, I mean, come on, guy. It's 2019 now. My children should not be experiencing racism anymore.
Right, racism shouldn't be a thing. That's real.
So, the lines are open, guys. If anybody else wants to call in while I got them on the line. Oh. Yeah, hold on a second, Otto. I hit the wrong button.
Press 2.
Hey, you there?
Yes, it's Otto.
Hey, it's Otto the Watchdog.
Otto the Watchdog,
Yeah, man,
what's
hey.
up? I've seen your
3
videos.
3, man.
What's up, bro?
No, I'm just an asshole with a camera trying to make a difference. Honestly, man,
We're trying to make a difference.
yeah, dude, I had no idea that there was ever anywhere that you couldn't carry a knife longer than 3 inches. And I started thinking about it. I do not own any knife that is less than 3 inches long. Or less than 5 inches even. I don't even have a 4.5 inch knife. They're all longer than that. Now maybe besides like a box blade or something, I would have never thought about it.
Yeah, I don't own. I mean, I've got other like pocket knives and shit, but like really, a knife's a knife's a knife. Like, my wife got me that knife because it's a hunting knife, and so I could explicitly carry it on my belt.
Well, just because you have a knife doesn't mean you're going to kill with it.
Yeah.
You know, I've never killed anybody, and I've carried a knife for, God, like 20 years. I used to even carry a knife going to school. You know, it wasn't on my belt, it was in my pocket, but...
I bet you in Texas that's cool. Out here it's not.
Right, you know, well, I mean, it's probably a big deal now, but back when I was in school, we had shotguns in our truck. We went dove hunting before we would go to school.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly. It's not like I was carrying a shotgun. Get out of here. You know what I mean? There are parts of this country where teenagers can carry their shotguns in the back of their trucks and go shoot at stuff after school.
Right. You know, it's different now than it used to be. You know, I understand that people are more afraid of everything and everybody, really. But you know, you got to be pretty close to hurt somebody with a knife.
No, we trust our officers to have more control over themselves than to react like that. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
We give them their badges.
If you were so afraid, you could have taken a step back and it would have been, you know, you're out of the threat range. But no, they had to take you straight to the ground and then put you in jail. That's ridiculous.
Right, and they didn't think about it. They didn't try and assess the situation. They didn't try and figure out if I was a threat. You know what I mean? No one talked to me. No one asked any questions. No one identified themselves. I mean, obviously we know who they are. But in order to drag me into a case and put hands on me like that, hey, what is that? They need to start a conversation. They're not supposed to just run up and hurt people who are nonviolent. Like, explicitly nonviolent.
The injuries that happened after, that's a whole other separate issue. We should have never gotten that far. You know, back in the day, I guess, when I was a kid at least, we watched movies and it was always like, freeze, put your hands up. You know, they'd give you a chance to comply, but they don't do that anymore, do they? They don't give you a warning, they don't say anything, they just throw you to the ground and put cuffs on you. The next thing you know, your kids are sleeping in the cold with no car keys.
Right, and the only time that they do that is when they're already mad at you for something else and they're biased. But
right, it certainly does appear like they wanted to take you to jail from the beginning, or somebody had to go to jail that day, from what it looked like.
We planned on it, and what it was they wanted to take somebody to jail. They were going to make a big freaking scene out of it, and they picked the wrong guy. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, state law.
Right. I think Eric would have a special phrase for that.
Yeah, I am the bear. People say don't go poke the bear. I am the bear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know what's legal and what's not. When they realized who I was and they ran my ID, those cops did not want to talk to me anymore. They knew what was going on. My mom was a Denver PD officer. They know who I am. They know that I've done this. They know that they drop every case they've ever got me to court on. Denver specifically. So, and then, what was really funny was I had a case out of Adams County where everybody's having all these issues that I'm going to get all the paperwork for, but when they ran my name, they realized that I can fight up to 7 police officers and still win.
Well, man, I'm just glad that you're on the outside and you're not still in a cage and you get to sleep, in the house with your family. That's the most important thing, and there's no,
There's no reason that you should have ever been locked up, from what I could tell.
It's all thanks to this community. My job right now is, like, I've got work, but they're dragging their feet, and I'm solely relying on one person right now. And so this community has actually made it possible for me to get back to my family. And this community has made it possible for us all to be good while I'm still waiting for this person that I work for to actually be ready to go to work.
Well, if it wasn't for all the people working together, we would never be able to get anything done. I don't even understand how protesters and activists back in the day got anything done at all. You know, with the constant retaliation and threats and things like that. It's ridiculous.
Right. How many people went to jail that shouldn't have?
Right.
You know, because if we can do this now,
they were too poor to fight it.
Right. If they could be on the mall and do all this now with the video camera, how many people actually went to jail for this same stuff before video cameras became a thing?
Exactly.
Right. You see the video camera and you still act like a dumbass.
You explicitly choose to act like a dumbass. No, it's not like they made a fucking choice when they saw the camera to profile me as a protester who was there stirring the shit up, and they made the choice to react in the way that they did, which was unlawful, and it was actually against their policies even.
Why do people want to mess with a protester in the first place? You know exactly what they're doing.
Right, it's bad news bears. You know what I mean? Why would you put yourself in a complicated position like that? I mean, even if I'm just sitting there filming, like, it's almost worse that I was only standing there exercising my First Amendment right. You know what I mean? I was only standing there filming. I wasn't actually part of the protest. You know what I mean? I didn't yell anything. I wasn't being obnoxious to anybody. You know, all I was doing was filming and being cool to everyone. Even those dumbass security guards, I was like, I had to explain it 3 million different times, and I did it.
Yeah. Well, hey, my kids are about to get crazy, so I'm going to have to go, but I'm glad to see you're outside, brother.
Glad to have me outside. I'm glad to actually be able to talk to you, man. I've seen your stuff, and I appreciate the work that you do, and a bunch of these other people that have been on here, I've seen their stuff too, but, I mean, yeah. So, thank you, man. I appreciate you.
Well, I'll be looking for you tomorrow, okay? Have a good night, brother.
Oh, we'll be out. We're going to be out. Let me tell you what.
Alright, thank you, Otto. Moolah, I don't know if you were referring, you said the guy on the right. I'm the guy on the right. My PayPal's above my head here. I just typed it in the chat. If that's what you meant. So, we got two different PayPal addresses going into the channel, so it gets confusing.
I understand.
So, lines are open, guys. I mean, we've been up an hour and 45 minutes just about. So, I mean, if you want to call in, now's the time. But yeah, Moolah, like I said, my address is right there, up above my head. Let's see. Everybody's just kind of shooting shit now, talking about everything that happened, talking about their kids.
Kids are important, man. I want my kids to grow up in a better world than this. And this is a big part of my way to help that.
Colorado Donkey Watch says he's going to be in Denver next week.
Colorado Donkey Watch, let's get together and let's film and do some stuff.
Yeah. And if Monkey goes out there, you guys damn sure better hook up.
Oh yeah, you already know. If Monkey comes out here, I'm going to be all over that.
Well, First Amendment Moolah, if you have PayPal, just click on my PayPal link in the channel or type it in your web browser, what you see up above here. He says he's old.
I understand.
So, but yeah, that's how you would donate. If you use anything else, like your bank account or whatever, I believe you do Super Chat. The $ sign you see on your screen, right where you type in your messages. You can just click that and use Super Chat.
Definitely support Brian King's channel. He's awesome.
Yeah, eventually I might have as many subs as 303 someday. So, hopefully. I just crossed 3,000 myself.
Well, there you go.
So, yeah, it fluctuates though. It like goes between 3,003 and 3,020, back and forth. So it fluctuates a lot. Oh, here's a good guy.
Awesome.
Gemini.
What's up, brother?
What's going on?
It's DJ Gemini.
What's up, DJ Gemini?
What's happening, brother? I got a question. Because I used to stay in Aurora. Are they basically that district that's for the 16th Street Mall? Are they doing that basically because that's the only tourist attraction down there?
Yeah, they're doing all that on the tourist attraction. That's all tourist attraction down there. That whole area. Because even the video I heard, like, I think it was 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago that I seen from the other gentleman up there with you, Liberty, he, that now you can't even smoke in public. Y'all got clubs down on 16th Street. What you mean you can't smoke down there? Right. You gotta smoke before you go in the club. Right. Right, so they don't harass people about smoking unless you're carrying a camera. And if you're carrying a camera, you better be smoking in the room. Yeah, I'm telling you, so they're profiling everybody like Eric Brandt and the people that he films with and what he does. And they have hatred for him. This district has hatred for protesters at all, of any sort, but specifically anyone that's involved with Eric. Okay. And so what they're doing is they're saying, if you're smoking in this area, or if I see you with a knife, we're going to jump you and throw you on the ground, or a number of other trespasses and stuff that have happened in the past, you know, and that's how they respond to people, because they have a bias toward people with cameras and protesters. Now, the reason why I was shocked about the knife, because there's more than average people, better than average numbers in Colorado area that walk around with knives all day. All day long. I've seen them at Home Depot. I done seen them at Best Buy. I done seen them in the Shoney's up there, the Perkins up there and everything. That's why I was confused when I seen that part of that video. Right, exactly. So that knife never should have been a part of that contact like that. Never. Right? They should have ID'd me. That's what I was. They should have figured out where I'm from and what I'm doing. And then he could have said, well, it's a city code that you're not supposed to have that, so I'm going to charge you with this. But that's not what he did. Right? He jumped out. He said, he's threatening you, and then he jumped all over me, and they threw me on the ground. And then when they realized that I wasn't, like, he realized that I didn't threaten them, right? And those cops were like, no, he didn't threaten us. All of a sudden, he's like, well, that's illegal, and he was doing this, and he was doing that. And I wasn't doing anything. So. Well, I mean, by then he was fishing to try to make the charges stick, and right. So even though I'm upset about it, I dig that. Right. When police officers are doing that on the scene, what it is they're trying to get like the nod from the friends that they work with, like, yeah, I can back that up, man. You know what I mean? He wasn't getting that nod from those cops. Those cops are not having it. They're not going to back him up on this bullshit this time, because that's not how this went. And so, you know what I mean? I'll get all the cameras and stuff and their body cams and stuff and all this, whatever I can get tomorrow. I'm going to go up there. But you guys will see, like, the whole thing, he started doing that because he wasn't getting the backup from his officers like he wanted. That's how they build a case in open public.
Right. So Guzman, well, that squad must be on a quota because normally they leave a certain area for the homeless to interact on their 16th Street. So now you're saying basically they have eliminated even that. So now they probably just doing quotas.
Right. Yep. So
Wow.
I'm gonna show everybody all of this. I'm gonna bring all kinds of light to it. You're gonna see how they're acting. You're gonna see what their reaction is to people with cameras. I'll have a bunch of different, you know what I mean, stuff. And then after all is said and done, I'm gonna go down there by myself and videotape after I clean my face up and I don't look so, I guess, sketchy. You know?
Right.
And then I'll show you guys how they actually react to people differently. Come on. So, and then I'm telling you, what it is it's bias towards people carrying the cameras that they can open relay to protesters or cop blockers.
I dig it. Well, I'm glad you're okay from that medical situation, and I'm glad that you're out. I was stationed in Colorado Springs, but I stayed in Denver. I preferred to stay in Denver, so I had to hit I-25 every morning. But that's why I was confused, because I know those laws up there, and now that they're doing all that, they must be reaching now.
Right.
Because actually, y'all even marijuana legal, so that don't even make no sense. Why you can't? That's like a double-edged sword right there.
Right. So, and that's what I'm saying. So they're trying to play all these games when they really don't have the standing to, and they put themselves in a situation they all know it. Every single cop there knew. Like, I wasn't worried about the charges they had me on. You know what I mean? Take me to court. I hope you're there.
Well, I'm glad you're able to be around the loved ones, and I'm glad some of our calls work to get you out. I know I called.
Everything that the community did and all the calls that you made definitely did not go unnoticed. They probably appreciate it, but I do. I appreciate all the thought. You know what I mean? They were going to have to let me out. Didn't matter how mad they were getting phone calls. You know what I mean? So they were going to try and make my life better while I was in there, but once I was out, all bets are off. We're back at it.
Well, when he went to saying the no bail situation, and you could clearly hear him say that over the audio, if you know what you're listening for, Guzman was the one that was saying no bail. The other guys didn't say nothing, but he was the actual person saying no bail fee. Like he's gonna hold you with no bail.
So he didn't want to give me a bail. He was trying to get it to a federal charge, or like a felony. And those other cops were like, no, that's a city charge. That's a city code. And what they should have done was cited me and released me for it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. They normally cite you, but then they would have confiscated your knife and gave you a receipt on the citation. If they had your blade.
Right.
But
They would have taken me
want
as evidence, and then they would have taken me to court, but they would have released me. And what it was Guzman was going to let me go. But then I started arguing with him, and I said, no, it's legal. This is all legal. And that's when he was like, no, fuck you, you're going to jail. And that was exactly what he said. So I'm like, no, it's legal. You know what I mean? And he was like, well, we can talk, and you can see why I reasoned this. He wanted to make me see reason. And when he realized I was not going to let him reason that assault on me away, he was like, nope, we're going to take you to jail then. That's how I cover myself.
Wow.
So,
Well,
yeah, and that's what it was. He's covering himself and buying himself more time under his qualified immunity than he should really have. Should have just let me go. Let it go. But now, we made a big deal. And there's all kinds of more damages.
And don't forget to go after his bond. Don't forget to go after that insurance bond. His insurance bond. Alright, I'll let y'all go. But I just had questions because I used to stay up there. That kind of made me come up out my chair.
Made me come up out of my chest too. You're absolutely correct. It's not illegal. He was only just trying to make a scene. And you're right, man. It was crazy. Yeah. So, it's okay. We're going to take it back to him, and we're going to make them justify it. They're not going to be able to.
Oh, I do have a question because I couldn't ask it with Eric. When did Colorado start that work program?
Work program?
Yeah, like how Eric is doing. Like when you have a work program. When did they start that?
I don't know. Oh, the work program for work release?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's two different work programs to my understanding. One is work release, where they let you go, but they have to be able to like monitor you and where you go and where, you know, you got to tell them how long you're going to be at work and then be back at your house. And you've got to pay them an inordinate fee for that. And then there's also, like, you can work as, like, a trustee in the jail and get time off of your sentence. So maybe they didn't let him get that.
Oh, okay. He must be doing the trustee one. No, I was just shocked because his is still a non-violent offense. But I was shocked at how he, like the way he was saying it. I was kind of getting confused because I'm like, is he a trustee? Is he like really going and making stuff? Like I was trying to follow what he was saying that day, and I admit I came up on the middle of the conversation like I did tonight. So I was, but I get it
for
now.
you. I'm more than happy to clarify anything on any video you've ever seen of like mine, and if I know about it, or I'm allowed to speak on it for somebody else.
I dig it. It's just when they say the trustee, but then when he gave the equation of like how much time you would get off, it's like that's where I got confused because I was like, that's not a trustee. That's another work program. So when did they start having that? Because they wasn't doing all that when I was up there.
For trustee, they usually do like one for 3 days, or like 1.5 for 3 days, something like that. So you can get like half your time off, or like a third of your time off for working for the jail usually, if they'll let you do it.
I dig it. Well, I want to say thank you, and every auditor that's listening, y'all stay strong out there.
Alright, DJ.
I'll see y'all later.
See y'all later.
See ya. Alright, guys. Well, we've been going about 2 hours now. I gotta get my mom ready for bed, get her medicines and all that. So, I appreciate everybody coming in. 303. I really appreciate you taking the time out to do this. So,
I appreciate you, Brian. Appreciate what you're doing, and I appreciate everybody being here and, you know, just the help that my family's received again. It's just humbling. Thank you guys so much. And just, you know, we got more for you guys coming. And again, Brian, thank you for having me. You know what I mean? I appreciate you.
alright, man. Well, we'll do it again sometime. So, alright, everybody. Say goodbye.
Bye.
See ya.